I just rode 100 miles on horseback through the blazing sun, wild rivers, and the rocky cliffs, all to deliver this letter. Want to know how I did it? Well, I did it with this bag. This isn't just any bag. It's a mochila, a special leather mail pouch used by the Pony Express. I'm going to pass this around. Let's all take a look at this mochila. Start with you. Take a look at it. Notice things about it. If it's heavy, if it's light, you know, how much stuff you could really put in there. So, what do you think it represents? Why don't you turn to your partner and think about that? What do you think this mochila represents?
I think it was what they used to carry mail because she came in with the mail and there's papers in there.
I think it's a bag that people a long time ago used to deliver mail.
All right. Did everybody get a good look at the mochila? And discuss with your partners? Okay, Sierra, what do you think this bag represents?
I think it was used to carry mail.
Mail? Well, you are right. Okay. This was used for carrying mail, and it was called a mochila. So imagine back in the 1800s, this is what they used to carry the mail. And today we're going to discuss that. So our objective today I will explain how the Pony Express worked and why it was important for communication in the 1800s. Are we excited? Yeah, let's say it together. Today, I will explain how the Pony Express worked and why it was important for communication in the 1800s. It's exciting. All right, so we'll explore the Pony Express and why it was really important, why it mattered so much. All right, so remember steamboats? Remember our lesson, how we talked about steamboats and how it was used for transportation? Well, the Pony Express was used for communication. Let's say that together. Communication. Right. That's going to be one of our vocabulary words. So, why do you think fast communication was important back then? Why don't you turn to your partner and discuss? Why do you think communication was so important back then? Fast communication.
There were a lot of wars happening in the 1800s, and they needed to tell each other news fast.
Fast communication was important in the 1800s because they did stuff like that. It was important. And if you wanted to, like, for example, be like, hey, I need you here at 10 p.m. on September 19th. And you could easily just give it to them.
All right, so if you're done talking with your partners, I'd like to hear some of your answers. Abigail.
Because they didn't really have that, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and they really needed that.
Right. They didn't have what?
Fast communication.
They didn't have fast communication. You know, how do we communicate today? Sierra.
Cell phones.
Cell phones, right? And what's another way to communicate today? Abigail? Emailing. Right. And it's instant. Right now. You send it, the message is sent. Whether they receive it right then or not, we don't know. But most of the time they do. Now let's think about the Pony Express and the route that they took in the 1800s. Okay, let's follow the journey. It started in St. Joseph, Missouri. Okay, and they navigated all the way to Sacramento, California. This was the Pony Express route. So think about that. You start here, you have to go through Nebraska, Wyoming. That's a lot to go through in Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, Sacramento. So, do we think just one rider was like, I'm going to get on my horse and deliver the mail, and he took off from here to there? That's 2,000 miles, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, no, riders had to switch horses every 10 to 15 miles, and they rode up to 100 miles a day. And they carried mail in a special pouch called a mochila. It had to be light, fast, and easy to switch between horses. Just think about it. You're riding on a horse. Why would you need it to be light? You guys talk about Sierra.
I because the horse can only carry so much weight.
That's right. So the Pony Express started in 1860 and only lasted about 18 months. And that was before the telegraph made it obsolete, right? So, but it changed how people thought about speed and connection. Just think about it. Before we had steamboats, and steamboats get on a ship, and it takes a long time to go through the waters and get where it needs to go. And then, if you need to communicate with somebody on land, it's going to take them even longer for that person to get where they need to go. Also, so then in comes the Pony Express. All right. So if I were a rider, I'd have to brave storms, protect the mail, and keep moving no matter what. You know, that was my job. That was an important job. That was the only way somebody could get a message across back then. The fastest way, you know? And then what kind of person do you think would take on this job? Abigail.
A athletic person or like a person under a certain amount of weight?
That's right. Why do you think that?
I think that because a horse can't carry that much weight.
That's right. A horse can't carry that much weight. So let me take this off again. I want you guys to pass it around. Think about the size, how it feels, you know, what it looks like. And let's do a quick recap and a fact check. We are going to be Mythbusters today. All right. So I'm going to write out three. I'm going to write out 3 facts or 3 myths. And I want you guys to tell me which myth is false. We're going to bust the myth. Okay. So the first one, riders change horses every 10 miles. Changed horses every 10 miles. And number 2, a myth about the Pony Express. Pony Express lasted 50 years. And 3, riders were mostly young. young and light. All right, I want you guys to discuss amongst yourselves. Think about it. We're just doing a little knowledge check to see if we're on track here. You guys discuss which one of these you think is a myth. And we'll bust that myth.
I think it's number 2 because she said earlier that it only lasts. What about you? I'm gonna say it's 50 years. What do you think? Said that.
All right. Everybody talked with their partner to share their answers.
Yes.
Okay. Sierra, which one is the myth?
We think number 2 is the myth.
And why do you think number 2 is the myth?
Because earlier you said it only lasted 18 months.
That's right. Number 2 is the myth. Riders changed horses every 10 miles. Pony Express lasted 18 months, not 50 years. And riders were mostly young and light. We discussed that because they couldn't carry a lot of stuff and they needed to be young and quick on their feet because it was hot, and the weather and the terrain. It was hard being a mail carrier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to go over some of our vocabulary words. All right. First, we got the Pony Express, a fast mail service that used horseback riders to carry mail across the U.S. in 1860 to 1861. A relay station. Before I tell you guys what relay station is, talk amongst yourselves. Tell me, what do you think it is? The relay station.
What do you think it is?
I think that it's where people change their horses, like the people were trained.
I think it's where they dropped their mail off.
Huh?
I think it's where they dropped off the mail.
All right. You guys talk about everybody done talking about it. Abigail, what do you think the relay station was?
I think that the relay station is where people would change their horses.
That's a good guess. And it's right. It's a stop along the Pony Express route right here. And they would stop every 10 miles, switch their horses, sometimes riders, but they would switch their horses and go another 10 miles, and they would travel up to 100 miles a day. And they would basically tag the next person, and that person took the mochila, got on the horse, and rode off for another 10 miles to another relay station, switched horses to deliver the mail. So we have the mochila, lightweight bag used for the mail carrier, and a rider. You all know what a rider is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And communication. That's what this is all about. We're talking about communication, how we can get our message across. And that is just part of the whole picture about communication. So I want us to remember our vocabulary words. If you guys want to stand up, we're going to say and act them out together. All right?
Okay.
All right. So, the Pony Express.
Well, the Pony Express.
The relay station.
The relay station.
Mochila.
The mochila.
And rider.
Right.
And communication.
Communication.
All right, class. Y'all are so fun. Thank you for doing that with me. So I want you guys to think, pair, and share. Turn to your partners and discuss how did the Pony Express help people stay connected?
It made delivering mail faster than it used to be. And so they could get messages to each other quicker. That's it.
All right, is everybody ready?
No.
Yeah, okay. Abigail, would you like to share your answer with the rest of us?
I feel like I think because it's what you could get messages across faster.
Why is that so important?
So you could stay in touch more.
That's right. I mean, there are so many different scenarios out there. Could be someone's getting married and you need to show up for their wedding, or someone is in the service and they need to be picked up, or there is a great new medicine and it's only available in this town and you want to get the word out to your family. Hey, come to this town and come get this medicine. You know, it's very important. It's very important for our communication. So, I would like to do a new fun activity. This is called the quick draw. All right. So we're going to sketch how the Pony Express worked. We're going to include a horse, a rider, a relay station, and the Mochila. We're going to label each part. So I have some paper here. If you guys want to draw that out. Okay. Here you go. Let's see. So we got horse. Let's spell horse. Got a rider. Relay station. And what's the most important thing? Mochila. Yeah. So Mochila. All right. Are we all done?
Yeah.
It's quick draw.
I'm done.
Quick draw. All right. We're done. If you want to pass your papers forward, and I will take a look at your lovely quick draws. Okay. So now it is amazing. Oh, I love these. Great quick draws. All right. So now it's your turn to show what you know. Okay. I want you to write a short paragraph explaining how the Pony Express worked and why it was important for communication. Here are your slips. And for the starter, think about this. The Pony Express helped people communicate by what? I'm going to give you 5 minutes to complete your paragraph. And I can't wait to see what everyone wrote. And let's see if we can use some of our key vocabulary words. We have Pony Express, relay station, mochila, rider, and communication. Oh, I like it. All right, it's been 5 minutes. I'll take your paragraphs now. You want to pass them up? Nice. Nice. Okay. So I would like for you to turn to your partner and explain what you wrote in your paragraph, why it mattered. Why? And I think I would like to hear as many people as possible. Okay?
I said it mattered because it was important to get quick messages to people the further they moved away. And
Okay. Everybody done? Share your answer. Sierra, I'm sorry. Share your answer.
I said it was important because we need to get fast messages to people the further they move away from where they settled.
Okay. And I have a question. What would have happened without fast communication? Abigail.
Without fast communication, people wouldn't be able to say things on short notice to each other.
Okay, great answers. Y'all were really paying attention. Okay, well, let's review what we've learned. Okay. We learned about the Pony Express in the 1800s, started in St. Joseph, Missouri, and this was the route that they took. They took their horses on their route with their mailbag. Relay station is where we, let's say it together, exchange horses. Yep. A mochila was used to carry the mail. And then a rider was that brave somebody who out there in the hot sun and the rain and crazy terrain. And then communication. It's how we get our messages across. You guys did great. Before we leave, I'd like for you to write write on your exit slip one fact that you learned about the Pony Express, and maybe one question you still might have. Okay? Great job, everyone. Thank you.